Imagine a weight loss drug, one that slows digestion, curbs appetite, and can make losing fat easier. If you didn't know, it already exists today, though just a decade ago this would have seemed impossible. Drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Rybelsus are quietly changing how millions of people manage their weight. And while there are many potential benefits, there are also important risks to consider. These drugs didn't go viral by accident. Several big trends pushed them into mainstream awareness. First, obesity rates have been rising globally, with projections suggesting nearly half of US adults could be obese by 2035 if current trends continue. Second, people have long searched for easier, more effective ways to lose weight. So when medications delivered results approaching those of surgery, interest exploded. Semaglutide-based drugs quickly became some of the fastest-growing prescriptions in recent history, with overall use increasing nearly 14 times higher between 2019 and 2023. Third, the internet and social media amplified everything.
Are you on GLP-1s?
I am on a little bit of Retta, like 2 milligrams a week.
I just did 12 last night.
12?
Yeah.
12
Yeah, bro.
milligrams of retatrutide?
Huh?
What the fuck?
Celebrities, athletes, and everyday people began openly sharing their experiences online. Before and after photos went viral, and a huge part of this movement began living online. Tens of thousands of people became active in dedicated subreddits like Ozempic, Wegovy weight loss, and GLP-1, where users share progress updates, side effects, frustrations, and advice, turning these drugs into a daily public conversation rather than a private medical decision. At the same time, TikTok was flooded with videos discussing Ozempic, many reaching millions of views. Even elite athletes entered the conversation. Serena Williams publicly spoke about using a GLP-1 medication after struggling to lose weight despite intense training and discipline.
And I've been really open about me being on GLP-1s. And I thought it was really important just to come out and say it. And for me, it was really just about taking away that stigma of like, is it a lazy way? Is it a shortcut? Like, why would you do that?
Helping bring these drugs into the mainstream spotlight. Fitness influencers followed, discussing how they combined GLP-1 medications with exercise and nutrition, sparking debates about whether this was a shortcut or simply another tool. And even in the real world, subtle signals appeared. Tailors on Wall Street reported more clients bringing in suits to be taken in rather than let out. A subtle but clear sign that body sizes were changing. Of course, this buzz comes with a reality check. These drugs are expensive. In the US, a 1-month supply can cost around $1,000 for Ozempic or Rybelsus and up to $1,400 for Wegovy. After insurance and discounts, many patients pay less, roughly $400 per month. But for some, cost remains a major barrier. Conversations online about affordability, discounts, and even the risks of sourcing medication outside legal channels have become part of the conversation, highlighting just how much price affects who can access these treatments. But how did these drugs come to be, and how do they actually cause weight loss? It all started in diabetes care. Scientists developed semaglutide, the molecule in drugs like Ozempic, to help control blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. Semaglutide belongs to a class of medications called GLP-1. It's a hormone your gut releases after you eat that slows digestion, reduces appetite, and signals to your brain that you're full. By mimicking and amplifying this natural signal with synthetic molecules, researchers could better manage blood sugar and help patients feel full more easily. But the effects don't stop in the gut. These medications also influence key appetite-regulating centers in the brain. GLP-1 receptors are found in the hypothalamus, which controls hunger and satiety, and in areas responsible for reward and cravings. When activated, the brain's "I'm full" signals are amplified, meals feel satisfying even in smaller portions, and the brain's cravings for high-calorie foods are less intense. In other words, GLP-1 drugs quietly reshape how the brain experiences hunger and cravings, making it easier to eat less without conscious effort, a mechanism that sets them apart from older weight loss treatments that mostly try to force results by speeding up metabolism, blocking fat absorption, or broadly suppressing appetite, often with limited effectiveness and uncomfortable side effects, rather than directly changing how the brain regulates hunger and cravings. But doctors soon noticed something unexpected. Patients taking semaglutide for diabetes were losing substantial amounts of weight. That side effect sparked a wave of research focused specifically on weight management. Large clinical programs, most notably the STEP trials, tested higher, obesity-targeted doses of semaglutide and found that participants regularly lost roughly 15% of their body weight on average, an amount previously seen mostly after surgical interventions like bariatric surgery. From there, the field shifted rapidly toward obesity treatment. Manufacturers repackaged and reformulated GLP-1 drugs specifically for weight loss. Wegovy is essentially a higher-dose semaglutide approved for chronic weight management, while other companies developed competing options. Tirzepatide activates 2 gut hormone receptors and has produced even greater average weight loss in trials. Oral versions of semaglutide like Rybelsus brought the same mechanism into a pill, making it easier for some patients to take. Compared with older medications such as Saxenda, itself a GLP-1 but with weaker effects, these new drugs represent a major leap in effectiveness, and that leap is what has transformed the conversation around medical approaches to obesity. What are the risks? No medication is without risk, and GLP-1 drugs are no exception. The most frequently reported side effects involve the digestive system. Nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and general stomach discomfort are common, especially when first starting treatment. But the effects don't stop there. Because these medications act on the brain as well as the gut, some users notice shifts in mood and motivation. While some feel more confident and energized as the weight comes off, others report irritability or anxiety, highlighting that these drugs influence both body and mind. More serious concerns have emerged as well. Regulatory agencies like the UK's MHRA have warned about a small risk of severe acute pancreatitis, a serious inflammation of the pancreas. Rarely users have experienced gallbladder issues, changes in vision, kidney strain, or thyroid changes, all areas that are still being studied. For these reasons, GLP-1 therapy isn't suitable for everyone and must be carefully monitored, especially for people taking other medications or with underlying health conditions. Real-world data shows that many patients discontinue treatment within a year, often due to side effects, cost, or diminishing returns in weight loss. And when therapy is stopped, the body's natural hunger signals return, and most people regain some or all of the weight they lost. For some, this may mean ongoing, even lifelong treatment is necessary to maintain results. At the same time, these drugs can offer surprising benefits beyond weight loss. Some clinical studies have suggested potential cardiovascular improvements. Weekly semaglutide injections were associated with a lower risk of serious heart events like heart attack or stroke in high-risk individuals. Real-world evidence also points to subtle but meaningful lifestyle changes. Households using GLP-1 medications tend to spend less on snack foods and more on nutritious groceries. Users report reduced cravings, less impulsive snacking, and even shifts in meal planning and exercise habits. Small behavioral changes that compound over time. Taken together, GLP-1 drugs are powerful tools, but they come with risks, require careful oversight, and may demand long-term commitment. At the same time, they can transform not just the body but the habits and mindset around eating, offering a glimpse into a new approach to weight, appetite, and health. So where is this all headed? Pharmaceutical companies are racing to develop next-generation therapies. One example is a drug called cagrilintide, which in recent trials outperformed Wegovy in both weight loss and blood sugar control. Oral formulations continue to expand, and competitors beyond semaglutide and tirzepatide are entering the pipeline. Analysts predict that the oral GLP-1 market alone could reach tens of billions of dollars within a few years. But the path forward isn't entirely smooth. Major real-world challenges are emerging. Sales growth for leaders like Novo Nordisk may slow due to pricing pressure, rising competition, and patent expirations. Even more importantly, there's growing recognition that these drugs, as effective as they are, aren't a magic bullet for society's obesity challenges. Behavioral health, environment, diet culture, exercise, and public policy will continue to shape outcomes in ways medication alone cannot. And while the short-term results are remarkable, the long-term picture is still unclear. Clinical trials usually last just 1 or 2 years, leaving questions about decades of continuous use. Could prolonged GLP-1 therapy subtly affect metabolism, bone density, or cardiovascular health? What about mental health, and populations like older adults, pregnant individuals, or those with complex conditions? Experts also watch for rebound effects if treatment stops after many years. These unknowns don't erase the benefits people experience today, but they highlight that GLP-1 therapy is still a work in progress, and ongoing research will be essential to understand its full potential and risks over the long haul. So that's the story of the new era of weight loss. We've looked at where these medications came from, how they work, why they've become so popular, and what both the science and real-world trends are teaching us. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And drop a comment below, what do you think the future holds for weight loss medicine? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.